reason why I started doing these videos is twofold. One, so that I actually have like the ability to push some form of informative content out there. And two, because I'm really passionate about cooking for myself, and I want to show you guys just how easy it is to fucking cook. As somebody who's been cooking for a long period of time, oh God, I'm old. The things which I've noticed which stops people from cooking is two things. One, the timing aspect of cooking, because that's all that cooking is maintaining a bunch of different times in your head and making sure that it all lines up and ready for the finish so you can go and eat it without having still frozen chips, like cooking in the air fryer. The other thing as well is the amount of washing up which it can leave behind. The last thing that you want to be doing is physical labour, washing like 5,000 pots, pans and pieces of cutlery that you've utilised in order to make sure that you've had a lovely meal. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys a recipe which I found recently, which is a one-pot lasagna. There's a fly in my kitchen now. Got the prick.
The ingredients I've used here are 250 grams worth of mince, a tin of chopped tomatoes, spinach, mozzarella, lasagna sheets, tomato puree, some cheddar, garlic, and half an onion. Now, all of these ingredients here are store-owned brand, except for the cheese and the tinned tomatoes. And in total, this comes up to about £5.22 or £1.31 per portion. For about, I don't know, 4 portions or something.
Now the reason I tend to go for like the non-store brand chopped tomatoes is because in my experience the cheaper ones tend to be extremely watery and don't actually have as much flavour. So the one I go for is this one, Napolina. I don't know. Now it's time for the best part about this. Now the only things you're going to chop is going to be a half onion, some garlic, 2 fucking things. You can do it. Alright, now you've done all the fucking hard shit. It's now just a case of bunging it all in a pan and then hoping for the best. Look, you're gonna have to forgive me for my shit camera angle at the moment, but like this is the best that you're gonna get today. First things first, you want to chuck this on, and it does take a little bit of time for the actual hob to heat up. Mine's electric. I fucking hate electric hobs, but it's the best that I've got. So whilst this is heating up, I'm just going to add a little bit of oil in it, not too much. You can use spray oil if you want, but I just don't give a shit anymore. So I'm just putting a little bit of Tesco extra virgin olive oil in it. Just a bit of a splash. I'm going to wait for that to heat up. So the oil's been heating up for a little while now, and a good way to test to see whether or not it's hot enough to start frying stuff is to literally just chuck a bit of cold water on your hands and flick it into the pan. For example, you can see that it's started to sort of fizz a little bit, but it's not hot enough. So we're going to leave it to heat up just a little bit more, maybe like 2 minutes, and then we're going to crack on with our stuff. So now that this is ready, all we're going to do is just bung in our onions first. It's about half an onion because there's just 2 of us. And with that then, just going to break it up and allow it to become clear, so it's a bit translucent. That should take about 2 to 3 minutes depending on the heat of your frying pan and depending on how apparently well that you have chopped your goddamn onion. Alright, so it's starting to become translucent now, so what we're going to need to do is to just bung in the mince and then brown that off. Should take about 5 minutes. There's only 250 grams in there, so it shouldn't take long at all. While it's browning, you notice I just dumped it in. Break it apart with your spatula. You can use the back end of it and then press it against the sides of the pan if it makes it a little bit easier for you to do. I just tend to mix it around a little bit and that just seems to work for me. Okay, next bit, chuck in your garlic and some seasoning, so your salt and pepper, whatever it is that you want to add to it. Give it a good old kick about. Now the reason why you add the garlic now and not before is because garlic burns really easily, and the last thing that you want is both the taste and the smell of fucked up garlic within your food. It's not nice. Right, so now comes our tinned tomatoes, just bung it in straight away. And once you've done that, you want to chuck in a little bit of tomato puree, just to thicken it up slightly and give it a bit more of a tomatoey taste. I missed. So now we're going to make sure that the temperature of this goes up to a bit of a simmer. Remember, not boiling the ever-living fuck out of it. And then what we're going to do is allow it to thicken up a little bit before we start adding other things in. This should take about 5 minutes. Maybe 10, I don't know, it depends on like how much you put in there. Meanwhile, I'm going to clean up my tomato puree mess. Bit of mixed herbs, just for a bit of extra flavouring. Alright, so for all intents and purposes, this isn't your traditional lasagna. It is literally just a bolognese. This next bit is why I call it a lasagna, and it's simply because I use lasagna sheets. Now the amount that you use depends on the amount of people that you're cooking for. Like I said, I'm only cooking for myself and Kez. So I'm going to use about 5 different sheets of... 5 sheets of lasagna. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bang them up and snap them off in here. And then give it a good old kick about. And now it does say to cook it for 10 minutes. So I would say if your packet instruction says 10 minutes, cook it for 10, maybe even like 8, because you're going to be adding shit to this afterwards anyway. So I'm going to come back to you guys in about 10 minutes time where this is simmered down, all cooked a little bit, and then happy days. So you can probably hear and notice that it's starting to bubble up a little bit more. The reason being is because I had to put like a small cup of water inside of it, inside the pan, because it had started burning at the bottom. Needless to say, please make sure that you're keeping an eye on what's going on. Always keep stirring it, especially for the duration. We've got 5 minutes left of this, but all you need to do is add small bits of water, and then you can just do a little bit of a scrape and keep it off the bottom of the pan then. So now that we're back, this is cooked off nicely over the last 8 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, what I did was just de-stem some of the spinach that we had earlier and just started cleaning some stuff up, all whilst making sure to give it a bit of a kick about every so often. I'm literally now going to just tear up an entire ball of mozzarella and bung it straight in there. And I'm now joined by a cat. Hi Barry, you don't have to use this amount of mozzarella, but we like cheese in this family, therefore we're going to use mozzarella. I bunged in the mozzarella, I'm also going to bung in the cheddar. I would tend to use parmesan if you've got it, or pecorino, whatever it is that you've got. I got cheddar, therefore I'm using cheddar. Costy lives, mate. But already you can see that it's starting to become creamy and delicious, and it shouldn't take all that long now. We're probably about 3-4 minutes out from being able to go off and eat this, but even so, whoa, look at that. And then last stage, alright, now some of you might not like spinach, but spinach is exceptionally healthy for you, so I'm going to put just a handful or 2 of spinach into my meal and allow it to wilt for a little bit. Heat off, and voila, you're done. Now all that remains is to just serve up. Keeping under the spirit of trying to make sure I'm not using too much, I'm literally just going to go wham. And look at that, 1 pan to wash. And now is the perfect time just to give it a little bit of a quick taste. Look at that though, how stunning that looks, okay? Yeah, perfect. If you don't like this, 1, you're entitled to your own shitty opinion. 2, you're fucking lying to yourself, pal. Alright? If you guys wanted like any evidence of like how good that was, that's all you need to know, right? 2 bowls gone. If you've enjoyed the video, please make sure that you've both liked and subscribed to the channel. I want to do more videos like this. I've got like 500 grams worth of mince left in this fridge. So that's at least 3 more. 2 maths. 2 more videos that I can do involving mince. For those of you who don't know, I stream 4 times a week. I will check up the schedule. Yeah. I always hate these bits where you've got to like finish up, because I never know how to finish up. It's always a case of like, yo, see ya. I'll do it. That'll do.